Hey guys, Kakar197 again, this time to review of the 1/60th scale Strike Gundam Striker Weapon System from the Gundam Seed series. Basically, this model is the previously released 1/60th scale Strike Gundam, but now with just all of these Striker packs included. So, I'm just going to go over the normal Strike first, and then I'll do all of the Striker packs separately. So for colors, you pretty much have the standard Gundam colors: white, blue, red, some gray for the joints and some details, and then some yellow for the V-fin here. Something I should point out is that this gray here, and this gray here, there's also some bits here, it's all molded in. So basically there is a gray underneath and then there's a hole in the white. So that's some really nice molding. However, now on to articulation, and that's where it gets a lot less nice. So first of all, the head goes up, down, will turn around all the way. Now the problem with the head is, if you move it up, the space here above the eyes looks really weird. I mean, I don't know, it looks a bit too boxy. And it's not a big deal if the head is just down like this, but if it looks up, it looks kind of awkward. So yeah, a bit of a minor complaint there. The arms will turn around all the way. Will turn around below the shoulder. This will move forward, somewhat backwards. Bend at the elbow at only one joint, and you only get about 90 degrees. So that's not really all that great. And the hand is on a ball joint. We'll turn around and wiggle. Thumb also on a ball joint, so it will wiggle somewhat in and out a little bit, not too much articulation on the thumb. And the fingers, all of the fingers are molded separately and are on little ball joints. However, only one knuckle is articulated, so it's kind of like the 2.0 master grades. Now, I know this isn't a perfect grade, but couldn't they molded all? Well, couldn't they have made all of the knuckles articulated? Yeah, I guess it kind of should have been expected, but yeah, whatever. It is just a normal 1/60th scale, I guess. So, the waist will only go side to side a little bit. Once again, disappointing. It might have to do a little bit with the design of the mobile suit itself, but it's still not a whole lot. A bit of a saving grace, an opening cockpit, which is a nice touch. Just open the top hatch, then get the bottom hatch down. Yeah, come on. There we go. And also a little figure of Kiriyamato / Mulaflaga, depending on how you want to paint it. It's a little bit hard to get it open, but if your fingernails are kind of long enough, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now to the front skirts. They're molded separately or in ball joints, so we'll wiggle a bit, go up really far. Back skirt, unfortunately, is just one solid piece and will not move in any way, shape, or form. Meaning the legs go backwards like that, but forwards like that. So that's reasonable. Something I always like to try out with my models is, can they do a decent crouch? And quite surprisingly, despite the kind of crappy movement, he is able to pull it off kind of decent. So, kind of a bonus point there. Our side skirts will move up like that, giving the legs an outer movement like that, which is reasonable, and the foot can move enough to support them like that. So some bonus points there, but I'm afraid that's pretty much it. Legs on 2 joints, move about that far. Nothing great, nothing, well, extremely bad, so let's just call it mediocre. The feet will move out a little bit like that, and a bit more to the inside. This ankle guard is of course also articulated. They move backwards really far, but forwards almost nothing. And this is my major complaint with the mobile suit. I mean, you get like the sword strike, the ill strike, and those are striker packs that call for some really elaborate action poses. Now, the problem is this guy does not come with its own action base, and I seriously doubt this will fit on any of the action bases that exist, well, in the standard Bandai action bases. So you want to be able to put this guy in some really nice poses. The problem is, once you want him stepping forwards, this foot is gonna be a real major pain. So in terms of articulation, some parts are okay, but these feet completely kill the potential for action poses. For accessories now, the normal strike comes with a shield handle here that can be put in one of these holes, and of course also comes with a connector for the arm, peg here, and then there are holes on both of the arms. Simply slide it on here, peg it into the arm, and put it around. And the arm is still kind of able to move, but it does have a little bit of stability. Oh wait, no, I thought it came loose, but it just seems that the arm is kind of loose now that it has a shield on. So there we go for the shield. And of course it also comes with the beam rifle with a nice little peg here that will fit into a slit here in the hand. And I have to say, it's really effective. It can hold the beam rifle without even having to clasp his fingers around it. There we go. Yeah, that took a bit longer because I also, of course, have to take the camera into account. If you're just doing it yourself, it goes in really nicely. So, and of course, comes with 2 Armor Schneider combat knives, which fold up and will fit into the side pockets. Fold up like that. They're not on, well, they don't have a peg to fit into the hands, but they do fit reasonably okay into the hands. Like that. It's a bit awkward to like try to fiddle around with these hands to get it to fit in, but it does kind of work. But then again, let's face it, this is the Striker weapon system pack, so who's going to display his or her strike with this knife? Like I said, folds up, the pouch here opens, and then you quite literally just toss it in here. And there we go. On to these Striker packs now. And let's start with the worst one of them all, which is also, unfortunately, the most famous one, the Ale Striker. Of course, accessory-wise, you have to use the beam rifle, shield. Now, the Ale Striker itself, all the articulation on it is just these wing pods that are on ball joints, so they will wiggle, go up, go down, will turn around all the way, and will go out about that far. For colors, you have, of course, red, black, yellow, and the white here. Beam sabers are removable and come with two very nice translucent pink beam sabers, the standard ones which are included in pretty much all of the 1/60th scale kits, be it perfect grade or no grade. So it slots into the strike with just a little peg here and goes in easy enough. Now, you'll probably immediately notice a problem. You can barely see the wings, which is because the wingspan of this kit is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what? This is like a chicken. They gave him wings, but there's no way he's going to be able to fly with that. I checked the wingspan, and they're like a few millimeters longer than the 1/100th scale master grade. Those wings are an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry I have to put it like this, but this is really horrible. These wings, I mean, they're pegged in, and I really just feel like pulling them out. There we go. Just remove the wings and consider this as a giant booster pack. There, all better now. Oof. This is actually an improvement. I mean, really, what the hell were they thinking when they made those wings? I mean, didn't anyone notice that those wings were like way too stubby and short and flimsy and ugh. Oh, great. Now they're even falling apart. So yeah, let's forget about those wings and now go for someone better. Oh yeah, beam sabers, of course, can be removed, like I said. Come with the pink beams, which go in rather nicely. And then there's a little peg here. It should kind of have to fight with a little bit to get out. Once again, having longer fingernails is an advantage here. Oh great, I'm really not good. Oh boy, this is a lot harder than expected. Ah, come on, get out. Should be a tooth. Ah, here we go. A little tooth pick and go. Aha! Success. Now the good thing is it's on a little ball joint, so you can hold it in a lot of different angles. So that's a really great idea. Something that's good about this Ale Striker pack. Phew. Once again, will fit in the slit on the hands. Of course, because it's a ball joint, you do have to be a little bit more careful with it. And once again, I have to fight a little bit with it to get it to actually fit in. Come on. Come on. Okay, I said the ball joint was a good idea, but I'm kind of starting to hate it now. Ah, there we go. So, that's the Ale Strike. Thankfully, things will only get better from now on, starting with the Sword Striker. The main event of this striker pack is, of course, the giant Schwertgewehr sword. I never really got it why they called it a Schwertgewehr. As far as I know, that means something like sword gun in German. Well, it's obviously a sword, but I don't see a lot of gun going on with this guy. As you might have noticed, if it wants to... Oh, upside down. It says sword here. So it's kind of like a feature that the name of the striker pack is on one of the accessories. With the Ale Striker pack, it was written here. Don't think I showed it. And with the Launcher Striker pack, it's written on the Agni launcher. Like I said, it's well, kinda weird, but also unique and I guess a nice touch. So for articulation, this pack, well, there's a little thing here to connect the sword to. The sword can swivel around, and the thing here will also move around. So in theory, you could attach this to, for example, well, a Sky Grasper if they would have released one. Just pegs into the bag, just like the L Striker. Of course, the reason you can swivel it around is to like have to go over the shoulder and have the strike grab it in an action pose. That, and of course, shoulder armor. Now it's a bit fiddly to get on. Gotta hold it so it won't fall off. Let's see, attach this part. And there we go. So for articulation on the shoulder, this flap will move up and down. And of course the beam boomerang can be removed. And as you've noticed, it sits very securely in there. There's also some very nice pink, clear pink for the beam. Clips in like that. And also comes with a handle, well, a little peg here so it fits in the hand. So there we go. And just like the beam rifle, it is a very nice fit. There we go. And last, but definitely not least, is the rocket anchor shield with removable anchor thing. Move up like that, has some movement like that, and also comes with a nice wire. You have to just like slap this on here, attach it here, and then slide it in here so you can make it look like the strike just shot the rocket anchor. Or can you? As you've probably noticed, this is an extremely thin wire, and this is quite a big accessory. Take a guess what's going to happen. Yeah, you probably didn't see that one coming now, did you? So, unless you like have a different stand for that, it's not really going to work. Ouch. And this is quite hard to remove. There we go. Just pop this back in there. And then use the same connector as the normal shield. So unfortunately you can't have both this shield like on the left arm and the normal shield on the right arm. Slide this here first and then slap this on here. Like that. And now of course back to the main event. The Schwertgewehr. Of course, it also comes with a very nice pink beam. At first I was afraid that it was going to break because you have to bend it in here. On my Gaia Gundam I broke one of these pink beams that came with it, but well, I guess it's also because it's so big that it's a lot more bendy, so it's not a problem at all, really. And of course at the end also very nicely detailed beam, and just like the beam saber, once again comes with a little clip here to put it in the hand. There we go. And last, but definitely not least, the launcher striker. Once again, simple peg here, attaches to the back. There we go, like that. And then his combo weapon shoulder pot thing. Very simple. Put it on the shoulder, slide it in, slide the back in, and slide the front in, like that. And that's all there is to it, really. For movement, this little flap here flaps around, and then there are several joints for, well, in order to maneuver this giant Agni around. There's a ball joint here, a simple joint here, and joint here, to give him the mobility to go underneath the arm. And then there's a swivel joint here for, I guess, targeting acquisition, and a ball joint here, and it will also rotate around, which is of course necessary to bring the gun around, like that. And then you simply flap it up. And out of all the accessories, this is by far the most difficult one to get into the hand. Well, I mean, to get this little pig here lined up with the slit in the hand. So, forgive me for this, but I'm not going to bother with it. I have to wrestle with it enough as it is off camera, let alone trying to pull it off in camera. So then you have the giant Agni. For stickers, this one does have a blue sticker here for the targeting scope. Oh yeah, for stickers on normal strike, you have of course the eye stickers, and then a sticker on the front camera, and on the back camera here. Now there's also this little handlebar here which clicks out just a little bit so that it's easier for the other hand to grab on. And there isn't a peg here, but it really wouldn't be helpful anyways. Just like the sword striker, you can get it in some pretty decent poses. And it's a very good replica of its anime counterpart. So once again, just like the sword striker and unlike the ale striker, a very nice striker pack. And combined with the kneeling pose, you can actually like have him in a little sniping pose. So, a very nice success this one is. And for those of you who have been watching the Seed remasters, you can in fact make a little improvised Omni Striker. Simply remove all of the connectors of the Agni, slide into the hand, and there you have it. He can in fact hold the Agni up pretty well. The arm is a bit wobbly, but I must say it's actually a very sturdy arm. I was kind of impressed by it. It's wobbly, but it's really, really sturdy. One problem I have noticed is that the back here, the ammo pack for this Gatling gun, does get in the way a little bit, so the arm will always be a bit angled forwards, but that's not really a big problem. So that's a very nice feature you can pull off with this set. Now, another burning question you probably all have is, you have all three striker packs. Will they fit on the perfect grade? Well, I'm sorry to say, but they're not going to fit. One problem is... Oh, no you don't. So one problem with the perfect grade is the striker packs, well, the ale striker pack of the perfect grade has a slit, while it's a square connection, while this is a round connection. Technically, you could sand this down to make it fit, but there's yet another problem. These shoulder parts will not fit on the shoulders of the perfect grade. The problem with the Sword Striker is, of course, this wraps around the shoulder armor, and these shoulders are drastically different. They're completely different, so the Sword Striker pack is not going to fit under unless you seriously modify either one of those. The gun pot of the Launcher Striker might be able to fit in there, but the problem here is, well, it's not a major one, but there's this little hose here, which is molded in, so you can't simply pull it out. So maybe if you cut this out, you could fit the Launcher Striker pack on here, and if you put a little bit of work into it. But I wouldn't really take the risk of screwing up the shoulder of the perfect grade, of course. But you might want to consider trying it with the Launcher Striker. Just a little side info. But if you're if you just want to try and slap them on, that's not going to work. So you will have to put some effort into it. So, as always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, it's a 2003 release, retails for around 7,000 yen, but overall, I would say, nah, kind of depends on what you want, really. So let's get down to it. If you just want a Strike Gundam, let's say you want to buy the one without all of the striker packs, well, I'd say definitely do not buy it. If you just want a normal strike, I'd say definitely go for the perfect grade. Sure, it's a lot more expensive, and it might not be fair to compare a perfect grade to a no grade, but the perfect grade is superior in every single aspect. Same actually goes for the master grade. I would recommend the master grade over this one. Master grade is cheaper and once again better in every single aspect. Now on to the different packs. If you want to buy this for the Ale Striker pack, do I really have to explain this? Well, if you want a 1/60 scale Ale Striker pack, go for the perfect grade. It's really that simple. And if you don't want to spend that amount of money on a perfect grade, simply buy the master grade, really. It's cheaper, it's better, it comes with a stand. Pretty much every single thing I could come up with is better on the master grade, only that guy is a bit bigger. Now, for the Sword Striker pack and the Launcher Striker pack, well, now we're having a discussion whether or not you would want to buy this. Of course, there is no other competitor with this guy for the 1/60th scale. So if you must have these two packs at 1/60th scale, definitely go for this guy. I don't think you probably won't regret it. You know how it looks, so if you like the look of this guy, well, then you'll definitely like these two striker packs. However, I should say that I would once again recommend the Master Grade over this guy. Master Grade, once again, it has a better price, has better mobility, and comes with a stand. So what it boils down to is, if you really must have a 1/60th scale of the Strike, then yes, you could go with this guy. So overall, I could only recommend this to people who are really a fan of the Ale Strike and of the Strike. Why the hell did I say Ale Strike? So I could only recommend this to people who are really a fan of the Strike and who would want these two packs. Just normal modelers, don't bother getting this model. It's not it's just not good enough, really. This doesn't really cut it when compared to other kits, and especially not when you compare it to Monster Race, who can do a lot more for actually a lot cheaper. So, for a final comparison shots, let's grab another big one, the 148 scale Mega Size RX-78, which apparently doesn't want to fit in screen. And last but not least, the 1/144 scale Marasai. Well, and that's all for this giant review, and see you at the next one.